You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show.
Welcome, everybody, and welcome to Monday's Total Divas After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Happy holidays! It's the first Monday of December. I'm so excited. It's my favorite holiday season. Well, it's only holiday season.
It's
really.
your favorite holiday season. This holiday season's #1.
It might be. It might be, yes. And my birthday's in there, too, so just want to throw it out there.
Oh, what a great month, then.
Yeah, I have everything here. All right, guys. Total Divas Season 1, Episode 13. Get that chingle chingle. I am Kaori Takee, and across the way from me, I've got Christian Rosenberg.
Hello, my dear. How are ya?
I'm good. I think I answered that already. I'm very excited.
Well, it's just me personally asking you.
Oh, I like it. You do that to me all the time.
This is true. This is what I do.
And who's next to you?
Oh, this lovely lady to my left over here is Miss Charlotte Broadbent.
Is that your left?
This is my left.
Okay, you need
It's
to
my
do this
left.
so
I
you
do
know.
that too.
My left
It's the left.
to the side of me is Charlotte Broadbent.
Yeah, just go with that so you can't get confused.
Hi, Charlotte Broadbent.
Adjacent from me.
Hey, everyone.
All right, so overall thoughts on this episode real quick before we jump into topics.
This might have been, from beginning to end, like my favorite episode of Total Divas.
I completely disagree, but wow.
That's a strong
I
statement.
actually really enjoyed all the stories because he actually found something different that we haven't seen in pretty much everyone that they talked about on this week's episode. You know, you saw some somewhat negative things towards Cena. You saw some positive things towards Vinny. You saw some Eva Marie was Eva Marie. You saw some.
I was about to say, what did you learn about Eva Marie?
I know, there was nothing.
Granted, Eva Marie was only on for like a minute, but even like Trinity and John, I was very surprised with that too.
Yeah.
So it brought there's a lot more depth to
That's very
these people
true.
on this episode, and along with the fact that this was the first time they really have shown people learning how to wrestle on here.
I knew you were going to love that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get to it, but that was a big deal for me.
I already know. I'm just predicting this right now as I'm going to go through the topic of Ariane and Vincent. Our boy over here is going to keep cutting me off and saying what each wrestling move is. Prediction.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll talk about the training. I'm not going to figure off and say what each move is.
I liked
That's okay
that.
if you
I loved
do.
that part, though, but we can get into that.
Yeah, what did you like? Overall thoughts.
I loved the part of Vinny in the ring because it really showed how hard wrestling really. I mean, everyone knows that wrestling is hard, but you truly got to see that you can't just go into the ring having not done anything.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, everyone has some kind of cardiovascular endurance, and Vinny obviously works out. He has a lot of muscle, so obviously he has some endurance, but he struggled. So that was probably my favorite. Well, no. But that was a good part of the episode.
Okay, well,
wasn't my favorite. But
Let's start talking about Ariane and Vincent since we're on that train. So
I like how you're calling him Vincent.
Because
it sounds very
proper.
formal.
Because his lower third says Vincent, even though she calls him Vinny. So I feel like I'm not that close to him yet because we are trying to get him in the studio. But
respond to us.
yes, respond to us.
Vinny,
Vincent.
you got two ladies emailing you, asking you to come on the show as a guest. Do it. All right.
So, Ariane is, first let's mention that Ariane is, apparently she has a singing career that I did not know about. She's trying to
Does she though?
release her single
Does
called
she?
Bye Bye.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Does she have a singing
I don't
career?
know if that was real because even in the studio it looked like it was being lip synced. It was weird.
It was just weird. It was just very strange. The lyrics were bizarre.
It was
The
very
song
Ariane
was-
though.
Yeah, it was just weird, and everyone was like, "Yeah, way to go!" And then they started like wrestling in there, and it just got really awkward. 'Cause the whole scene was just strange.
I think it was just basically a way to pave the subject towards, well, Ariane's got her thing together. She's got wrestling. Now
Yeah.
she's got this singing career. She's about to release a single. But she's concerned that Vincent, who wants to open a hookah bar, doesn't have like a career
It writes itself.
And-
per
It
se.
writes itself.
Yeah, going for him. So she wants to hook him up with a possible wrestling superstar career. And therefore, she hooks him up with NXT's Bill, I don't know his last name. DeMott. And he goes in for training for 2 sessions, and he struggles with it. He, from the get-go, doesn't feel comfortable about this at all. You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell that he just isn't really into it. And
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be 100% into anything you do. If you really want to do it and succeed, you have to be 100% into it. And it just seemed like he wasn't even 50%. It was kind of like something that he was doing to please her, which
Exactly.
was nice.
Absolutely.
Which was
Definitely.
like
That was
nice.
really nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was that showed that
This
he
is
loved
why
her.
like I felt so different towards Vinny with this episode, because first off at the beginning he's in the recording studio telling her she's doing a great job of whatever that song is, which I think has already reached bronze
Terrible.
over iTunes or something like that.
Did I just say terrible? I'm sorry.
No, you did. It happened. Then they're jokingly wrestling, they're joking wrestling in the studio. That just made like the producers. I think they were just scared to death because like, hey, we got thousands of dollars of equipment in here,
Right.
And you're
Right.
trying to like give her a Karanas,
And he obviously doesn't know
Right.
many wrestling moves, so I don't think I would feel comfortable
No.
No.
No,
and my equipment and
No.
yeah.
but then Ariane trying to set Vinny up, for a possible tryout. So getting the tryout to see if you can try out, and
Right.
and it's not
That's right.
and it's not just anyone that he's getting a chance to train in the ring with. That Bill DeMott is the head trainer down in the Performance Center. Anyone that is on the NXT show, which we also do an AfterBuzz for here. Hey, I gave them a cheap plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I'm not even on the show. And I'm giving a plug. I know, it's a rarity in itself. I'm giving thanks still
Okay.
from Thanksgiving. So
That's
he
true,
is the
that's
guy
sweet.
who trains all the guys that you see on NXT. He is the guy there. He wrestled for many years in WCW and the WWE, and now for the last several years has been their main trainer guy to really create the superstars. So for any wrestler, getting a chance to train with Bill DeMott is the opportunity of a lifetime. Vinny does not want to wrestle.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though, is Ariane, I think she said this at least 10 times. He has the opportunity of a lifetime. Anyone would be dying to be in his shoes, but he didn't want it.
Exactly. Anyone that wants to wrestle, he
And-
doesn't want to
He
wrestle.
doesn't.
Exactly. And I mean, and I personally know from experience, I would absolutely, of course, I would have loved that opportunity to train with him. I know that I can't do that stuff at all. What we saw him train, that is day 1, part 1, section 1
Right.
of the training to be a wrestler. Just the rolls, the basic bumps, running the ropes, all that stuff. I mean, that is near impossible
I have
for
a
me to do.
question.
Yes, go
Is
ahead.
running between the ropes that hard?
It actually is, because it's a certain pace that you have to do when you turn and bounce off the ropes. And those ropes, as you kind of saw when they looked at his back briefly,
Ouch.
the ropes, the more you run on them, they leave horrible bruises
Yeah,
and
that
marks.
looks really
And
sore.
Yeah.
especially when you're training, your trainer, as they should, make you like run back and forth hundreds of times. And so just those simple things, I mean, I'm not able to do the very basic stuff, which is why I sit and commentate wrestling shows and not
Right.
actually wrestle. Vinny's in a hell of a lot better shape than I am. And it shows you how difficult these things are. And it belongs to someone who really has a passion for it and really wants to
Yeah.
drive
Absolutely.
Yeah.
to literally destroy their body to do it. Vinny doesn't want to do that, but he's just doing it to appease Ariane. And she doesn't realize that he's really only doing it for her and that he doesn't want this.
to
Yeah,
do
he's
that.
not
Yeah.
dedicated to it.
Right.
No.
So it obviously is. I just felt so bad for Vinny, especially after the second day of training when he comes out crying and he just flat out says, I just did this for you, babe, because I love you, but I don't want to do this.
I feel like a fool.
Yeah.
But she didn't even say no. She just didn't say anything. I was like, wow, give your guy a little bit of padding. Just say, no, you didn't look like a fool. Just at least say, you know?
How could she be so blind? Oblivious or ignorant to his feelings that he doesn't want to do it.
Well, because, and this is where it kind of goes in, kind of seeing the inside. She was looking for herself in this as well, because, hey, if I can get Vinny a tryout and if I can get him in NXT, then I could bring him around to the shows and not be ashamed of him and fit in with the other divas.
You think it's all
That's what I think she wants.
Really?
I think she wants to fit in.
Exactly what it was.
Wow, that didn't cross my mind.
She's like the only one that doesn't. I mean, Eva Marie has a fiance, but I mean,
as far as the ones that we see,
we never see him.
As far as the ones that we see on Total Divas, she's
that's what I
pretty much the only
mean.
one.
Yeah, she's the only one that has a boyfriend that isn't in wrestling, and I think. And firstly, I think that's kind of cool that he is involved because he's the only one that isn't. I love Vin. I think he's hilarious. But obviously, the show sees something in him because he is the only one that isn't a wrestler. But I think she probably feels a little bit left out. It's like, oh, why isn't my boyfriend like tough and macho and a really good wrestler?
I mean, we get annoyed with him quite a bit. But to be fair, I mean, a sloth in the chat room said they belong together, and it's kind of true.
Yeah.
I mean, the more we get to watch the show, they do kind of complement each other in a way, and especially after watching this episode, I'm thinking, man, he does a lot for this girl.
He's done a ton for her.
She's hit him in public.
Seriously, like when she freaked out at him when they were at the party, I was just like, wow, this girl, like Vinny puts up with a lot from this girl. It's not just her that puts up with him.
And it also shocks me that she didn't know the country where he's from when she was pretending.
Oh my goodness. She was like, "Aw."
Babe, where are you from again?
Yeah.
Where
What?
was it?
Armenia?
From Armenia.
Well, she does make it up to him. She does pull the nice gesture after she comes with the realization that, oh man, I really was pushing him way too hard, taking him out of his element, and he did this all out of love. She took him to dinner, and she was listening to what he wants to do, realizing he really is set on opening a hookah business, and he has all these plans for it. And she comes to accept that just because he has a different path that he wants, and they have a conflicting past, it doesn't mean it's wrong. So the ending was nice. Like, she comes to that realization, and that saved his face a little bit.
She said that he's in the armor transportation business.
Yeah, I read that too. I mean,
what is
listened
that?
to that too. I don't know. I'm staring at you, Christian.
This is a complete guess, and probably someone in the chat room might correct me if I'm wrong. Armor transportation, I want to say, are the people that like deliver money and stuff to banks. Like those trucks to the banks.
I was not thinking that.
And I could be so wrong, it's not even funny. So someone please correct me if I'm wrong so I don't sound that stupid. I did have to make a correction on something I said last week.
Okay, what was your correction?
I did find out, because I cracked a joke in the scenes for this week's episode about Vinny wearing a helmet, which we saw him wear a helmet during the training.
That's right, he did wear a helmet.
Apparently, this is something that's relatively new down in the Performance Center, which I find fantastic. New students or new people training, at the beginning of their training, they are always required to wear the helmets when they're learning how to bump in fear of concussions. So that is something that the WWE Performance Center is now implying for all the new people, which is great. So I'm sorry I forgot your Twitter handle that tweeted that to me, but I double checked, and that is what goes on there now.
Well,
which is great.
Thank you for that correction. Yeah. Someone in the chat said HView says Ari must be really good in bed. Ariane must be really good in bed.
She's a prude. We saw that last week. She's a prude.
That theory's out the window.
It hurts her like it hurts Vinny to run the ropes.
That's true. All right. So real quick, because we only saw Eva Marie for a snippet, we didn't see JoJo at all again. Where the heck is JoJo? Except for in the opening credits.
What happened to her?
Yeah, there was.
Like,
I actually looked for her in the opening credits to see if she was still there.
Like, we even. at least last week, we even had like the camera passing what we saw. We didn't even have that at all in this episode.
Well, on all the blogs, it's all the divas, and then like all the big pictures of the divas, and then Eva Marie and JoJo get like half the size. They get, but for both of them, they get one size of the other divas, but they're both on it. Like, where is she?
Where is she?
Where is she?
Right. By the way, Watchtower says armored transportation is truck pickups for cash to banks.
There you go. So I was somewhat right.
You were somewhat right.
All right.
That was the last thing I was
Smartest of us three today.
Yes, I win.
So Eva Marie gets to have her own action figure. And Natty is surprised because she gets posters. She has her action figure. She has her time. But in just 6 months, the newbie has her own action figure. And Eva Marie says she wants bigger tits for it, and
which, you know, for the children's action figure, the biggest thing they look for is the size of the breasts.
And it's so funny that Natty calls her a hooch. She's like, what a hooch.
So true.
It is. So Christian and Charlotte, what did you guys think of a newbie just so quickly? Pretty much is getting all this stuff given to her, and she just isn't doing well with what she's been given.
I'm sure JoJo was getting the same thing too. We just didn't see.
That's what. See, I was thinking that
like,
when
no.
Eva Marie was getting the what is it called?
The scanner of some
the scanner,
kind.
yeah. I was literally thinking, where is JoJo? Is she getting any of this attention? Because Natty was only just going in the scanner, and it's like, okay, Natty's only just getting a doll. And a figure, sorry.
Oh, no, Natty's had
She's already had them?
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
But she's been there 6 months. And
It's
I'm
the
not
success of Total
surprised Eva
Divas.
Marie's head is so big because she said, I'm new, I'm here to stay.
head
It's
is-
like I have, but I think,
She's
well, mine wouldn't, no, I don't think mine would be that big. But I could see how her head is so big when she's getting everything handed to her on a plate and doing nothing for it.
But that's the thing. I disagree because her head is so big, but she has no reason because whatever she's being handed, she's not giving 100% with it. And so eventually these things go away. These tits, these looks, they're gone.
I feel like she even screwed up sitting there for the scanner.
I know.
I mean, like, she can't even sit and be scanned for an action figure right.
That's why she talked about her tits.
Like, no, because what I loved is as she's walking in, you see actually the WWE superstar Wade Barrett, who's sitting there to be scanned for, you know, his updated figure. And Barrett is very still. He's Wade Barrett is a bad guy or a heel, so he's looking angry, just very still, very stern for the scan. In comes Eva Marie, and she's like, what do you think?
True.
I move my head up and down.
I know.
What do you think with my boobs? What should I do? And she's like, you can't move when you're being scanned.
You're so right.
She also has a two-tone face. Like her face is golden, and then from the neck, it's a different skin color.
She has that line.
Yeah.
Right?
So whether it's her makeup or not, her makeup artist is not doing hot. That's just a side note.
I was looking, while that was going on, I was looking at hashtag Total Divas on Twitter, and every single tweet was just like, is this a joke? Why is she getting a figure? What? Why? No, this
People
can't
love
be
to
happening.
hate. Watch. Best-selling action figure ever.
And it's a sad thing, but like wrestling fans, as far as the ones you see at the live events, now that she's appeared on TV a few times, every time she's on TV, she is booed out of the building. And it's not because of like, oh, she's a really good bad guy and they're booing her
They
because
just don't like her.
they just like, why are you here type booing. Now, to be fair, there's a female who's an older female on WWE named Vickie Guerrero, who kind of plays one of the authoritative roles. But she, at first, for like the first year or so that she was there, she was booed like crazy because everyone was like, why are you here? Get away. You're awful.
But see, she worked hard.
But she worked hard and eventually went over. She's still booed out of the building, but it's based on her character now.
Yeah,
so
you love to hate her.
You love to actually hate her. So she worked on that, but there was a long time where people just despised her. And that's what Eva Marie is going through right now. Will she be able to work hard on it like Vickie did? I've yet to see anything.
You have to earn respect. You have to work hard.
Yes.
It takes a long time to get, especially fans, it takes a long time to get a true fan base that support you, that love you, and when you're not working hard and you're not really doing anything, and you think you're better than you are, people are going to knock you down so hard.
She's relying a lot on her looks is the problem.
Yeah.
So
don't take this the wrong way, because I don't wish anyone ever getting injured in any shape or form. But I'm waiting for the first time in training where like if she breaks her nose,
Right,
like,
you want her to get like a wake-up call.
Chips a tooth in
Right.
training, and all of a sudden, what will I do?
What?
My looks.
Yes.
No.
I'm ruined.
Well, guys, tell us what you think by stopping over iTunes or YouTube. And give us 5 stars on iTunes. Let us know, rate, comment, and tell us what you think of Eva Marie, Trinity, Ariane, everybody, the Bellas, John Cena, who we're about to get to.
And us.
And us. Let us know what you like, dislike, and we love listening to those comments. Tweet us, YouTube, all that
And
stuff.
we respond.
We do, especially him.
I respond a lot, especially when you praise me. I respond by
Be a
saying,
rosebud.
I respond by saying, you're right. Yes, join the garden, become a rosebud.
So,
That means you follow me on Twitter.
that,
If you didn't know that,
of course, everyone knows that
I
now.
want to make sure.
Okay, so let's talk about Trinity and John.
Let's do it.
Trinity and John live together, and Trinity has a visitor, her father, Sean, who is going to come visit, and he ends up sleeping in their bedroom and being up late at night making sandwiches and having house parties. When John is really just trying to sleep. He has an early rise, and in the meantime, John is feeling disrespected by Trinity because he understands, Trinity's father is coming to visit. She doesn't get to spend enough time with her father, but it's really disrupting his life cycle, I guess, his daily cycle. And what did you guys think of this? Like, I was kind of conflicted.
Well, this is my one question. Her father's band came into town to play. Were they in town for a day or a month?
Because
I
John
felt
kept
like a long
saying
time.
that her dad's living with us. Wait, what?
Probably for him, it felt like living.
For him, it felt like a month, but in reality, it was like the weekend.
Right?
Yeah.
How long was it? Because
I have no
I don't
idea.
think it's a big deal. I really don't. I know if my mom came and I had a boyfriend, it would be like, she's going to stay. Like, why? She's not going to get a hotel just for
Right.
her when she can just stay here. And I would expect my boyfriend to be okay with that. And yeah, if I did think it was a bit disrespectful when he brought the whole band back, but Trinity
Yes.
said it was okay.
Wait.
So
It was the whole band. It was the wait staff. It was everyone else that
Yeah,
was in
it
the
was
restaurant
It
when
was
they
a girl with big
performed.
boobies.
yeah, there was
They
a
kept
lot.
they kept panning at her boobies, the purple
groupies.
dress. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. There was
But
a lot
here's-
of people,
here's
but
okay.
one night, I can see both sides to it.
I felt that it was completely too black and white. It was for John. It was
Yeah.
either kick him out or I'm leaving. But really, they could have had a compromise. Hey, could you not make sandwiches right now? I gave you my bedroom. Just sleep on this empty stomach, Or
Yeah.
can we not bring him back to the house party? He can definitely stay. So I think that Trinity overstepped it by letting her father do anything. But at the same time, she didn't have to kick him out.
No.
That's family right there.
Right,
That's your
exactly.
father.
You don't. Yeah, Dad, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to make your dad like John, and you say, "Well, John has a problem with you staying
Yeah, that
here,"
didn't help things.
Yeah, no.
Well, I
he's
don't
like,
think he
he's a
likes
good
him.
guy, I guess. I'm like, well, that sucks.
right? Like he no longer likes him.
Yeah.
because he wants him out.
This was weird because I kind of like what you guys were saying. I'm in agreement with you guys because I agreed and disagreed with both Trinity and John at
Yeah.
times in this one. I agreed on the fact it was like, John, dude, he was out late and he's making himself a sandwich. That ain't a big deal. Deal with
That
it.
wasn't a big deal.
That's not a big deal.
It's not allowed to make a sandwich. It's not like he's taking pans out or anything.
I'm sorry if the light on in the kitchen accidentally woke you up when you're kind enough to give your future father-in-law your bed for a couple days.
Well, to be fair,
Sorry about
though,
that.
Trinity gets really excited the moment she sees her dad. What's up, Daddy? She goes to the bar and starts talking to him. It's not a quiet
No.
sandwich making session.
No. But, John, 15 minutes, you can deal with it.
Yeah.
However, the house party, when when her dad asks her, hey, can we throw, we want to do an after party, that's when Trinity should look over at John and be like, hey,
Is that okay?
would it be all right if we had a party at the house? He could say yes or he could say no. And then if he says no, then you work on the compromise from
Right.
there. Trinity was like, yeah, let's do it. And John was like, huh? What's going
Poor
on?
John.
Yeah, it's all about compromise, and that was the whole point here. No one compromised with anyone, and even the dad. No one, and it seemed to me like Trinity doesn't see her dad much at all.
Yeah.
And she was super excited to see him. So I think
he's busy traveling in his little like Applebee's band or whatever the hell that is.
But, the after party, he said, "Can I bring my band?" That was all he asked. He brought the whole shebang.
there was
Everyone
more
came.
people at the party than there was, it seemed, at the restaurant.
Yeah. They seem to be having a lot more fun in that apartment.
And I feel bad because honestly, there are things that we know there are plenty of things that are staged and all that because that's just the nature of reality shows. However, and I know this from a little bit of experience. You had those people all set up there in the restaurant and dancing, and all those people magically then came to the apartment. Those are not regular restaurant patrons. Those are what we call extras.
Yeah.
But it just I think it was adding to the whole disruptiveness of her father.
Well, exactly.
They were
It's like,
trying to
hey,
do.
we need all you guys now to do this part in the apartment. We know it's midnight, and we're probably going to get a noise complaint, but we got to make this work.
Again, I would love to know what time it was.
It was probably late.
It was probably late at night because if it went as they were filming it, you're out at night to watch them perform.
Yeah.
It's definitely after 10.
It's gotta be.
So
For me, what it comes down to is they should have just made better compromises. They didn't really do any of that. And at the end, when she decides that, there's a new man in her life, she needs to walk her father and give him the talk, I felt really bad because it shouldn't be a decision between your father or your fiance.
And
Totally.
John should have been there with them.
Yeah. Not you go do that.
Have the discussion. But again, why does this discussion have to happen? How long was he there?
yeah, like how long
Right.
was it? If this is a weekend, 4 or 5 days, really,
But-
John?
I feel like I'm guessing it was probably a week, about a week. But this is me completely guessing by the way the conversation was going. How she's like, I'm not gonna get him a hotel for a couple days or whatever.
Okay, well, you know
Still.
what? John, Trinity, both of you with WWE contracts, get a bigger apartment.
I know that's what
Yeah.
they're saying in the chat as well.
Get a
Yeah.
2-bedroom.
That's true.
Because did Trinity and John both sleep in the living room?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they.
I mean that was
See,
really
they
nice
did-
of them.
That was really nice. They gave him the room. I think he took advantage of it. Well,
He was
a lot.
just a little.
But,
he was the
I mean,
Vinny of the
It's
episode.
different when you're in a band, I guess. You I don't know, you're on the road and
And now he's no longer Trinity's number one man. He's number 1.5,
Yeah.
which is just like what? Come on.
Which was weird.
when they were talking, yeah, that was kind of weird. When they were talking on the
When they were talking.
when they were
I'm sorry, you just sound New York.
When they
there.
were
how I say it,
talking?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. When they were talking, I couldn't tell when Trinity was telling her dad, I couldn't tell if she was trying not to laugh or trying not to cry. Did you guys notice that?
I think she felt bad, but she was trying to keep it
It was like
lighthearted.
it was like she felt it was obvious she felt uncomfortable, but it was almost like she was really trying not to laugh. And I mean, when I feel awkward, I do laugh. But this is your dad. It's kind of I don't know. I was just like, that's a really weird
that's a good point.
expression.
Well, the conversation should have never happened anyway.
Yeah.
That's just what I think.
Yeah.
Walking along some mystical bridge.
Let me take you to this bridge here so we can walk.
Let's find this beautiful scenic area
To-
where I can tell
and it
you
was
to get out of my apartment.
Yeah.
It was a
bridge.
bridge, yeah, that didn't. Well, it looks like one of those that is a dead end. You just walk
Oh.
to the end and look.
Yeah.
So they had nowhere to go. Just looked like they were
That-
walking
that'd get a
down.
little
And,
It was a
awkward.
dock. It was a dock.
yeah,
dock.
that's what I'm looking for. Thanks.
But if he stayed in John Cena's place, there would be no problem with
You wouldn't
room.
even realize he was there. It's so huge.
So
He'll stay on.
It's massive.
He'll stay in bedroom number 54.
Right.
while Brie is wrestling on her own, she kind of misses Nikki because she's used to having a tag team partner. Nikki is on vacation because of her injury, and John is on vacation because of his injury. So she's so excited that they get to, mingle together and hang out in John Cena's mansion. But little does she know that there's a lot of anxiety in John Cena. He is OCD.
Yeah.
He is.
He cannot.
Yeah, he is.
Like, oh my God. Even the hampers, the dirty hampers.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, dirty clothes are dirty clothes. Like,
Yes.
if they're dirty, they're dirty, you know?
I'm not going to lie. My hampers are separate.
Really?
But mine are separate from like whites and colors.
Okay, I mean, that's
totally
fine.
Not workout clothes and fancy clothes.
I mean, this is, like you mentioned earlier on, this is the first time that I really felt kind of puzzled by John Cena.
This is something new that we haven't seen from him.
Yeah.
And he looked really frightened when she was cooking for him.
His expression was priceless.
Yes.
And that wasn't fake. That wasn't
No.
staged. He was actually like in shock. That was a genuine look of. He was scared for his marble.
Yeah.
Scared for
Why
that
is there
marble.
a dish on my marble countertop?
Why is there solid food in this household? You know?
Do they eat out every night?
guess so.
Apparently every night, because all he had in the house was water and alcohol.
Yes.
Firstly, well, I mean, they earn a lot, so they can afford that. But secondly, when you're an athlete and you're that into your body and you need to eat right, can you eat out every night? Every breakfast,
think
lunch,
so.
and dinner? You can find something that, because you have to eat healthy and get carbohydrates and all that.
Right.
I mean, if you go to Chili's, you can't. I mean, everything's like, you know, but
Everything's delicious.
like, are there really that many healthy places that you can go to every night that's good for your body?
I'm sure that's a lifestyle that they're used to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. That's
and you got to
eating
think
out
they
every
also
night. Dang.
they're also normally on the road so much
True.
that
Yeah.
WWE they have all their like catering stuff, so I'm sure they have all their healthy and
Right.
protein
Yeah, that's
stuff,
true.
and then they got their steaks, chickens, fish, all that stuff too.
So Cena doesn't like water spilling onto his marble. He doesn't like candles in his place. He doesn't even like pictures or
There's
decorations.
no pictures. It's a hotel.
It's a hotel. Like, exactly. Nikki was saying it was like a hotel.
It didn't
It's
look
like a
lived
museum.
in.
She just feels very uncomfortable. She decides to change it up, cook him dinner, and what sucks for her was that he couldn't even appreciate that this woman was cooking him dinner because he was freaking out about anything messing up
Yeah.
or destroying his palace. So, yeah, I mean, this was the most entertaining part of the show.
I felt so bad for Nikki. Someone tweeted, it was like, dude, you have a hot girl like making you dinner.
Yeah.
Why are you complaining? And it's so true. You have Nikki cooking you a feast. It wasn't
where
just.
can I get that?
It wasn't
I
just
know, right?
bad cooking. Like, she was cooking good food.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was freaking out. And even when she'd finished, she'd washed up and then she was putting everything in the dishwasher. Are you going to do that tonight? It's like, it's in the dishwasher.
Yes.
You can't even see inside the dishwasher right now. Does it really matter if it's done tonight or tomorrow morning?
I know. I thought about like if they go upstairs to sleep, is he going to be thinking about that
Right?
dishwasher moving around?
Did any water from the sink hit the floor? Well, what's the big deal? Because that little bit of water will turn into mold.
He's oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's like
John.
OCD to like another level.
Yeah, and he goes to visit his best friend. What was his best friend's name again? I have.
I wanna
it
say
written.
Rob?
Rob McIntyre.
That's his trainer and his best friend.
Yeah, trainer and best friend, and they're playing chess. And Rob puts him in his place and says, "Yo, you know what? If you want to be like that." He says, don't hang out with anyone ever and do it yourself if you want everything your way. John's saying, oh, well, thanks, because he comes to a realization, yeah, I kind of messed up there. Nikki tried to do good things.
Something nice.
Embellish my apartment, decorate it, and I sat there and freaked out the whole while. So what does he do? He gets candles and flowers, and when Nikki comes back, he surprises her with decoration in his place, which is just flowers and candle. But that's a start. That's a good
But
start.
she said, wow, flowers. He never buys flowers. So that
Yes.
was
Right.
something that he knew that he could do. It's not like he buys her flowers every week. No, this was, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. And he got the candles, the photo frames. I thought that was really cute.
I thought that was really good too.
And we found out a major thing through all this. Whenever Nikki has an issue, she goes to John, and John just like by the snap of his fingers kind of like puts her in her place, tells her like it is, and breaks it down to her, and then she's fine.
I know.
But we had that question that we didn't think we ever needed the answer for is, who does John Cena go to when he has these same odd issues? Apparently it's his buddy Rob. Because then Rob did to John exactly what John does to Nikki.
Yeah. I actually like Rob. I kind of want to see more of him.
Yeah, I
Right?
did too.
Yeah, he's
and he's good
interesting.
looking.
Oh,
It's like a nice face on the screen, you know?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking we need him on the show because he's a looker.
Something nice to look at. It was like, yeah, and it was no, but he was real. Like he was real. He told him what he needed to hear. Got it into John. Like, look, you're being an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you need to. You can't go through life like this. I mean, that
I
house.
can't believe he's been through going through life like that.
That
my
house
gosh.
did not look lived in.
Yeah.
It did look like a hotel, like
It
a
looked
museum.
empty.
Yeah, it didn't look. It wasn't a home. It was a house.
I'm curious to see how they're faring, if this is realistically what
Mm-hmm.
he's like, how they're faring and how much compromise is happening in the household of John Cena currently.
I thought it was funny when she said, "I can't do this anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Last episode, she moved in.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was like, anymore? How long has this been?
Yeah, right.
Can't do this anymore. It's been a week.
I mean, that's the thing about Nikki is
She just signed those papers.
she's so into John that she will pretty much let him get away with anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Nikki. Don't get me wrong, but I want John to work a little harder for her sometimes. So he did good in this past episode.
I agree.
But any other thoughts on this?
I'm trying to think.
show?
I'm trying
When
to
they
think
were
of something
at
else.
when they were at lunch, I found it interesting to see the difference between John and Nikki talking about their time away from being in the ring. Nikki was really happy that they had time to spend with
point.
each other, and it's like, oh, some time we can be together, really enjoy living in our house. And John was saying, no, I want to. No, I want to be back in the ring. I miss it. Like, I need to do this. So I thought that was really interesting to see the
I agree.
the difference.
Sorry,
between
that was just
how they-
awful timing, Stephen.
But no, I think it's because for John, it's wrestling is completely his life.
life.
Right.
And for Nikki, wrestling is her life, but
So is
John is a
John.
huge priority for her
Yeah,
as well.
I totally agree.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's probably something to do with John's divorce. He's
Right.
probably doesn't put women as high. Nikki probably isn't as high of a priority, as sad as that is. But when you've been through heartache, it's hard to put somebody
takes
up on
time.
the same totem pole.
Pedestal.
Pedestal. Oh my gosh. Same totem
Hey,
pole.
her on totem pole will be awesome.
Well,
Same pedestal as you did with somebody else that completely broke you. So I think it's going to take her a while to get to where I think he does really love her, but it's going to take her a while to.
Yeah.
let me ask you two this question. Based on this episode, between John and Nikki, John and Trinity, and Ariane and Vinny, which one is the most compatible and happy couple?
Good question.
You're not including.
I'm not
Brie
including
and-
Brie and Brian because they weren't in this week.
I would. This is my opinion. I think Trinity and John.
Trinity and John.
They argue well together. Like
Okay.
you not only you have to get along at your best and also get along at your worst. And I think Trinity and John like compromise. At the end, they did. And I think Nikki's too forgiving, and then
Yeah.
Ariane is too pushy. So there's a medium, and I think Trinity and John have it between those three.
I kind of agree with you, but I did want to see where Trinity and John kind of made up, because you just kind of saw her telling her dad.
They didn't see it.
You didn't see them making up and being like, "Okay, Dad's gone. You can come back
Well-
from wherever you stormed
Well,
off."
last week we didn't see Natty apologize to
yeah.
Eva.
Well, this is what happened. They said, "Cut. Okay, take two. Let's see if we're gonna do."
Okay, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you at SmackDown. And
How about you? Which one do you think between the three?
it's really odd, but I think it might be Ariane and Vinny.
Aww.
And the reason being is because they're both just so dumb
Kind of good.
that they work so well together. And I mean they work off each other well. And you could tell, they clearly don't know the right ways to present it or say it, but they always mean well for each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they both
do.
They both say really weird things. They
I
both
think-
say bomb.com.
Well, I think
And then the jingle jingle.
I think he adapts it from her because I think that's all her lingo, and he just goes with it.
And then she called a bruise.
It's going to be a spinoff.
It has
bruisey.
to. Please do so.
It's like, how's your bruisey on your back? I was like, bruisey?
Bruisey. As she pokes it.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, I think that about does it for this after show.
That should do it.
Yeah, that should do it. We have 2 more episodes left.
Only
We
2 more?
are going to see the proposal. Maybe we'll see some more JoJo. In the meantime,
Maybe we'll
guys.
see some JoJo, period.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We haven't had a story with her yet all season.
I know.
Right?
Isn't that crazy?
I know. It's weird.
Well, in the meantime, where can the Rosebuds follow you?
Well, my Rosebuds can join the garden by following me at CRosieVOC.
All right. Charlotte.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Road to Making It.
And you can follow me at KAORIOUS, Kaorius. And you can catch all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. And we will catch you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.